good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. You are tuned in to
Becky
and Brandy's
Culture Exposed.
podcast.
Yes, welcome guys.
No, for real. Welcome. Episode number 7.
7.
As you can see, we have a different location. We're just trying out locations to see what feels comfortable, and we have our merch. So make sure you guys go and cop it on our website. We'll have the link on there for you guys to get some B&B Culture Exposed shirts or mugs or towels or
Yes.
whatever you want.
Yeah. Just go support.
Support, please. Episode number 7, I want to reiterate, is such a blessing. It's a blessed number. And I'm in good mood. I'm in happy, high vibrations and great, high, positive energy. Mm-hmm. So that's wonderful. What about you?
Same. We'll get into what we came from last night, but I'm still living off that high. But
True.
First, like to apologize too for last week in the missed episode. I was actually sick and under the weather. I'm feeling much better now.
Happy for that.
Yes.
I miss my friend. Like, I had to quarantine her.
Exactly. And I was quarantining myself.
Right.
And I didn't have COVID. I'm just going to put that out there. It was not COVID, just like a regular.
In Jesus' name, it wasn't COVID, but it was like
it was just like a head cold. They said it's like a regular cold.
Okay.
I'm like, okay.
Glad you're better.
Yes, but so much has happened.
Life has been lifing.
Yeah.
In the news, in entertainment world, in the presidential political world news for political things. Like, what is going on right now?
There's a lot going on.
Like, what's going on in the universe to make like everything just be, although we're in high vibrations and high spirits, like around us is like chaos.
That's real,
and
very
that
true.
is so weird to me.
Mm-hmm.
That just gave me chills. That is so weird to me. I feel like we have to just keep pushing positivity in the air.
Yes. I mean, we can only control what is in our own environment, but that's also like a pay it forward type of thing. So as long as you're pushing out the good energy is going to come back to you and those around you too.
Agree. I love that. Hopefully, let's talk about some good energy. I'm going to go right into like our job fairs. Every podcast, we tell you guys about the job fairs. I don't have any for October specifically, but there are a few virtual ones and I'll put on the website. But I hope you guys went to the ones last month in September because they were very, very lucrative for if you want to find a job. If you were in the employment field, they were there in North Las Vegas, had the City Hall. You can still look on their website to see if there's any jobs available. But at City Hall, they did have a job fair that had over 750 positions, and it was like over 50 companies, something like that. So the community is putting out jobs for you guys. So hopefully we're encouraging you guys and you have more outlets and more encouragement to be able to go and look at them and go and say, you know what, I can do that job. And, you know, the first thing is to acknowledge like, okay, I want a job. And then second is to go out there to that job fair, to that interview. We put the resumes. We also put cover letters and stuff on our website. So on Facebook and on Instagram, if you need help, you know, no shame. Just go in there and look.
Yes. Yes, definitely do that.
So hopefully you did. If not, you can go in there because it's still up there. We didn't take it down. And go get you guys some jobs. Let's go get this money in because it is
seasonal time. So
Baby.
Christmas is coming up. You know, people who need extra cash for those gifts because maybe you weren't doing it throughout the whole year or whatever the reason may be.
Strapped on cash now because you were doing it all year. Now you need something else. They do have a lot of seasonal jobs coming. Everybody know Amazon, Fanatics, all the warehouses.
A lot of retail stores.
They're just hiring like crazy.
Everyone's hiring.
Bed, Bath, and Beyond. So yeah, let's go out there. We'll put links on there. We'll definitely put. I know a lot of people have hit me up and said thank you for the job fair. So I appreciate you guys are actually looking and listening. And I will put the links up for the seasonal jobs also because I would love to share that with everybody. Well, we have some interesting Las Vegas news going on.
Yeah.
What's going on in Vegas? That's all over the world.
That's all over the world since the full moon happened. It's got to be that they finally convicted and arrested the murderer of Tupac Shakur.
Well, we gonna convict them, but yeah, they arrested the murderer of Tupac. Oh my gosh.
And it's funny because we already touched on this subject a few episodes back. So go listen. I think it was like 1 or 2.
Yeah.
We talked about it and Dwayne
evidence.
Keith Davis's involvement. So that's who they arrested, aka Keith D. So yeah,
Keefy D.
just him like bragging and running his mouth.
Is that what happened?
Yeah, that's what it basically it is. That caught him up was he was like, bragging that he was in the car and all kinds of stuff. Turned out that it seems like he was the one who actually did the shooting.
He wasn't. No, they said he wasn't the one that did the shooting, but they said that he was the one that got the gun. So what I think happened was the one that snitched on him, that gave him that gun, that killed Tupac. I think that's going to come out when we have the trial because someone gave him that gun and then that gun was used to kill Tupac, but that the evidence shows that he wasn't the shooter. But as the man said in the press conference, the officer, it doesn't matter if you're connected to the shooting, you are a part of the shooting.
Right.
So if you came and got a gun from someone and gave it to someone else and that person,
you're accomplice of murder.
Yeah, period. And that's what the police said in the press conference. I did see that part. They were like, he was not the shooter. The other 3 shooters are all deceased. Or the other 3 people that were in the car. So it was 4 people in the car.
Yeah, and actually he made a point too in saying when he was bragging about it, he said there's only 2 people who were involved in those scenes that are still alive today. Everybody else is dead, which is him and Suge Knight. That were directly involved in that shooting. Just him and Suge Knight are the only survivors to this day.
Baby, that is crazy. You were just telling everything and they knew it this whole time, but they didn't have the evidence until they found out where he was. Then he's a hoarder, kept all the evidence and probably way more stuff. We just don't know what it is.
Like, what the fuck? And you stayed living in Las Vegas, like where the shit had went down.
You know what? What that means, you're so bold. It just
yeah. Yeah.
But they were saying that it all stemmed from the fight that happened was it the MGM?
Yeah, on the MGM because Orlando Anderson, the one who got jumped by Pac, Suge, and the whole crew, is his nephew, is Davis's nephew, Keith D's nephew. So they said once he heard about that, he was the one who actually put the whole plan together.
I wonder, was he living out here at the time?
Right.
Or were they just all down here for the fight too? That's a good question.
But then at the same time, anyone who has connections to Vegas also has connections to Cali.
Yeah.
I mean, true. Vegas and Cali, it kind of goes hand in hand.
It definitely does. Everybody that has connections, we have connections next door. Like, that's just true.
Yes. So it could have been both. They could have been going back and forth. And yeah.
That is crazy. So then the nephew was like, yeah, because they were Crips, right? And Suge and them were Bloods, not Tupac. Tupac ain't gang bang. Yeah. But Suge and them were Bloods. And so he was like, oh, these Bloods were whatever. And they was like, show me where they at. And then they followed him. And then it was over. And then they shot him. That is so sad, but thank goodness that we finally got some closure to Tupac's murder.
Speaking of closer, this I have to like bring this up. So I was looking into stuff, and as some of you guys know, I'm like really big into astrology, tarot, all of that stuff, and spirituality in general. So the full moon was on September 29th. That's when they came out and said, hey, we found Tupac's murderer. And what people may know or may not know is that the full moon was actually in Aries. And of course, me being the geek I am, I went to go look up Tupac's birth chart, and it just so happens Tupac's on his birth chart, his moon is in Aries.
Also,
yeah,
this is just full circle. Him coming back.
It really is just full circle and just like divine timing.
Wow. Well, shout out to him, Tupac. We love you. We miss you.
And that's confirmation. Look, 444.
Yes. We love you. We miss you. Thank God your murderer was caught, and he will no longer be able to just walk around. See, God don't play. He don't play. And people be thinking that people like folks got away with things, but all his life he's probably had a very hard life, being like the shot caller, one of a gang. That's why he in Vegas. Like, that's what happens. All of the gang members, they go to another state to go hide out. He was in, let me tell y'all where he was at. He was in a place called Henderson, Nevada, where don't nobody be. They be trying to pop off Henderson, but they be popping it off because don't nothing pop off over there. So then people be like, oh, I did this in Henderson. Yeah, we got it popping in Henderson. Like, why? Like, Henderson police don't play. He was hiding out.
Yeah, he was. And it's funny because Henderson is not known as Henderson. Like the locals call Henderson Hendertucky.
Right. We don't go over there.
Yeah.
We really don't play. We don't play with Henderson. So he was hiding out because if you know Las Vegas and you know Henderson, like we don't go to Henderson. So that means like he was in the outskirts in a rural area. That's what that is. Henderson is the rural area of Las Vegas. And it's like, why? And I've noticed that a lot, and I'm not going to speak on it, but I've noticed that a lot. A lot of older gang members come out here to get away from, like, I thought that was for life. Like, you come out here and hide, and they found you anyway. But that's so crazy. Like, you guys wouldn't even understand how many people have done that from California and just came out here and they're hiding, or they come out here and they make new gangs. It's weird. Anyways,
yeah.
So for him, don't drop the soap. They gonna whoop his butt in jail. Like shook people over there too gonna whoop his butt. He a Crip. Everybody gonna know he a Crip. So that's gonna be horrible. Like he going in, he gotta have his gang colors and everything. It's a different situation when you're in jail. It's a different life. It's like the real world inside there. So he is doomed, and that's just so messed up. And he don't have no money or nothing. So
and he's old. He's like 60 years old right now.
So he's gonna have to live his life out in jail. That's so. Well, I'm gonna let's just go ahead and send some love and light to him so that he can live his years out in jail. Like nobody will kill him or anything like that, and he can just be miserable because he won't have any kind of peace in there. So he can just be miserable. And his 30 years, how long has it been since Tupac's been?
27 years.
His next 27 years.
That's crazy because Tupac died when he was 27.
So
wasn't he? I'm gonna have to look that up.
So now in the next 27 years, I hope that he has a eye-opening awakening. You know, a eye-opening awakening.
So I just looked it up, and it's actually not 27. He was 25 when he was shot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, rest in peace to Tupac, and we're gonna still play his music all the time,
All the time.
every day, every night. And then when he comes on, you just get the groove and like, yeah, toss it up. I get around. Hail Mary.
My favorite all-time Tupac song is "Crazy" off the Machiavelli CD.
Okay, nice.
Yes.
All right. Well, let's move on to some exciting news. So the other podcast, one of the other episodes, we did talk about Colorado and Mr. Primetime, Deion Sanders,
Yes.
and the Buffaloes, and how they have been just the center of attention. So the last couple of weeks, they actually lost. They lost the last two games. The last week to Oregon.
It messed up everybody's ticket. I know everybody in Vegas was pissed. I know all my coworkers were so mad and heated. They're like, that fucked my ticket up.
Right, I bet. So then this week they play USC, and it was a good game, but they lost again. And
that was a close game, though. They only lost by like a touchdown, basically.
Whoever they playing next, they scared. They scaring them because they don't know how that game's going to go. Now, USC came up in there probably just like, oh, yeah, we're going to dominate because they have that Caleb Williams and little Heisman dude. And so they probably thought they were going to come in there and just whoop them. But Primetime and his Buffaloes was like, no, y'all not finna come up. And his Buffs was like, no, y'all not even finna have it. So I thought that was so just good for them to come back out and be amazing again. So shout out to them. Shout out to people never letting anybody talk crazy to you and tell you what you're capable of. Even when you lose, you try so hard. The performance is what it is. Every single game is still sold out for the season.
Right.
And everybody will be watching every single game, even if it's every single game just a talk mess. It's every single game.
So the next game that's going to be on October 7th, and it's at 3:30, and they are going up against Arizona State.
Oh, they're gonna be at Arizona. Oh, that's gonna be a good game.
Yeah, they're gonna be going against them Devils and Sun Devils.
Right. Oh, I've been at. I think that's in Tempe. I think that's in somewhere. Or is it?
Yeah. Well, also that's right there too. It is Tempe. Yeah.
I went and I seen I went to a weekend I had down there, like a spa weekend, and it was so beautiful. And I rode past the university. It's humongous. It's amazing. I was like, oh my gosh, I wish my kids would want to go there. But it was a beautiful place. So shout out to all the colleges.
Actually, shout out to all the colleges in Arizona State, because I don't know if some of you guys know, but I am Native American, and they actually offer free tuition for my tribe for people. Yeah, free tuition. And they just have to show that they are tribally affiliated, and they get free tuition to be able to go. And they actually just started doing that, I think, this year, like for most of the major colleges that I know, U of A, and then ASU, NAU. Wow. And then, of course, like the community colleges that they all have down there.
Oh, that's nice. That is nice.
So a lot of my friends, back home, a lot of them, their alumni is, State. I have a few ones who are from Sun Devils, and then the Wildcats. And they have like some weird, like they always butt heads. They always, really? Yeah, it's hilarious.
That's like, I went out of town to Oklahoma. So they have Oklahoma
against
University.
Texas.
No. Against Oklahoma State.
Oh,
so it's Oklahoma State University, and then the University of Oklahoma. The Sooners versus whoever, and they are super rivals in the same state. Like they're super rivals. But I guess that's like UNLV. Yeah,
that's true. And now that I'm thinking about New Mexico with UNM and MSU. Yeah.
What about, so now we're talking about different colleges, different states. Let's talk about how the weather has been tripping. Remember in New York?
Yeah, New York seems to have gotten flooded.
They were saying that there was like more than 6 inches of rain, like 6 inches of rain.
And they said it was raining nonstop for like how many, 10 days? Or was it like 6 days? Something silly like that.
That was really horrible. And if you've seen it, it was like up to like their waist. They had whirlpools in the middle of the street. Like, oh my gosh, that was horrible.
Yeah. Prayers and light going out to New York.
But that was just ugh.
And I think they had like an announcement, something about if you live in a basement, make sure you guys are sheltering in place. And I'm like, well, what about the people who do live in basements? Like that shit's flooded.
Yeah, no, that was the top floor was flooded. The basement is gone. Underwater like a pool. Like, oh my gosh.
But I seen the most craziest videos. Like I seen a rat like fucking huge, like the size of a cat running through the store because it is trying to escape the water and stuff, and people were just filming it. It looks so gross.
Bro, the size of a cat.
Size of like a kitten, I think so.
Itch right now. That's making me itch. I had seen we were watching some kind of video when they were just they were just like shooting rats. Just like shooting rats in a basement, but like the rats had no idea, and they were just like plucking them off one by one, and they were just like, nobody needs rats. Just killing them. It was like in New York or New Jersey or something. They were just a random place, was just plucking them off. But they were like, there's no species in the world that needs rats. They're nasty. They carry disease, whatever. So they were just. I was like, night vision. People are crazy. So I got in touch with our chef Alonzo. He is ready to do our and we're going to, I don't know if we're going to do it on the podcast, but we're going to do a segment maybe, because I don't know how we're going to be able to set up the podcast and the cooking and everything in the different places that we do the podcast at. So we might have to record it at a different place and then just put it on our website and then just bring them on the top.
Like commentary it, like record, and then like here we can commentate like what's going on and stuff.
Yeah, we can do that because
so yeah, we could do that. We could do two stuff. So we can first do the whole thing, and then afterwards we can have a sit down with him, and he can and talk about like the different things that we went through.
And that'd be cool and I want to try to do that like at least once a month.
Oh yeah, that'd be dope.
So he said that he wants to do either if we want to do a pasta dish, we could. He would do like honey crusted like chicken tenders.
Oh my gosh,
we can do that. He said we can do like a catfish, a blackened fish, something like that. It's just up to us and our listeners. So if you guys have an idea that you want to see for our chef to cook.
Well, I think it should be, especially since we're coming into the holiday seasons, maybe we can make it like holiday based. So like maybe so October can be like a spooky theme.
Oh yeah.
And then like, and you know, maybe in November, like a Thanksgiving thing, right. But maybe out the box instead of like traditional stuff. Maybe we can give you guys a different look or add a different thing to your meal. Right. That's not so traditional.
Right, that'll be cool.
But complements, you know, the whole Thanksgiving thing. And then the same thing with Christmas too.
I did Christmas desserts, Christmas dinner, stuff like that. I think that'd be cool for October, less of maybe Halloween and more of just like more harvest.
Yeah.
You know, like a harvest, more with like less Thanksgiving, but more harvest time. So maybe we can do something like that. But oh my gosh, I'm just hungry thinking about it.
I know, me too. I can't wait, Alonzo. I'm like looking forward to this. I'm super excited.
He was super excited talking about it too. Like I talked to him like 2 days ago. So that'll be so cool. And Oh yeah, it'll be good. But let's talk about so I want to get in something else. So I've been on the, I get into, I get down rabbit holes a lot, watching TV and looking at documentaries and different stuff like that. And lately, I've been looking at NDEs,
Non-disclosure agreements or
near death experiences.
near-death experiences. Oh, I'm down for this. Let's go.
Yeah. Near death experience. So I've been looking at a lot of them, and I've been talking to like different people about them too, because I want to know different perspectives. So I want to talk to you about it.
Okay.
The different experiences. I've never had a near death experience, but the different experiences that I have studied from people telling their stories have been like amazing, and they're documented deaths, meaning their heart has stopped for more than 10 minutes. They're just not documented to be able to come back from that or live the life they do, but they come back and they're put back together, their mind is back together, and they just have a different outlook on life going forward. And a lot of people are like, oh, do you believe in reincarnation? Do you believe in a heaven, hell, and different things like that? And it's all up in the air, because everybody has their own religions. Everybody has their own, this is what I believe. But I do believe that they all come together except for the Satan worshipers, all the other religions, because I have to say that religion is not a part of these religions. All the other religions that come together all have a doctrine on how to live, and then they all have a belief on love, and how love is supposed to be presented. And so when I see a lot of strict religions that are just like, if you do that, you're going to hell, I'll just be like, how? When our main purpose on here is definitely to love one another and to live in harmony. Or if not, then why were we put on this earth? Not to fight and to have these issues. So I want to know your perspective on it too, because I have been researching it, and for me, I know what my purpose is on this earth. My purpose is to share my gift. Do I know what my gift is? I kind of do, but I'm not fully.
We're going to work on that.
Yeah, definitely. Daily. I'm working on it daily. I don't know what that gift is, but I know it is to assist and to help and to heal. I'm a healer, and I know that for a fact. When it comes to am I going to fulfill my purpose? That is my biggest fear. You know, am I going to fulfill it and do what I'm supposed to do in the time frame that I'm supposed to be here on this earth, whatever time frame that is? Until recently, I did believe in like a line in the sand for heaven and hell. Like I really did. I was just like, I just got to repent. I just got to repent. I just remember how to repent, you know? And so when you have that type of fear in like a religion, it makes you feel
controlled.
Yeah.
It makes you feel controlled and limitless.
100%.
It makes you feel limited
Yes.
on how to live your life.
Right.
And that's not what we were put here to do. We were supposed to live out our purpose and to live freely. And that's the thing about churches is I look at churches more like a business. They are a corporation. And in how they feed and instill that and gain that mass control over people is by
pushing
that same fear, like, hey, you have to do this one way. And if you don't do that this way, then you're going to hell.
Yeah, shame on you.
Yeah, and you have to come to church every Sunday. Otherwise, you're going to hell because of all the sins that you committed throughout the whole week.
Mistakes, and everybody in here is always perfect, and I feel that, and that's my, and if it makes me feel claustrophobic. It makes me feel like I am not gonna make it,
and that's when it goes back to like, okay, so this is going back to Jesus's teachings. There's a reason why there is no written word, scriptures, books that was written by Jesus. He made it a point to not leave any of that behind because he knew what his presence here was to be on earth. And God even instilled that in him. Like when he was having, you know, his conversations with God and like really stepping into his purposes, because when you go and read through the Bible, there's always like Peter, Paul, everyone always saying like Jesus went out, you know, out in the wilderness for days and weeks at a time, weeks at a time. And that's when he was actually communicating with his Father, because he needed to be in nature because God is all the way around us. So I believe that he didn't leave any writings was for that same fact, for control, because then his written word was going to be law. And if that written word was going to be law, it was going to limit people's, I want to say, their destinies on how they how we've been evolving as humans since Christ was here. I mean, we've evolved a lot since then, but there's still some stuff that we haven't evolved in. And I think what it's been and what's been stagnant is the spirituality point of like his disciples writing their books, which I'm not going to downplay, because each of those books serve a purpose, because they reach every single type of person there is in this world, because our world is so diverse. Not Christianity is going to be grasped by someone in China. Like, and you know, somebody here in the United States, we're not going to grasp Buddhism as strongly as we would Christianity and Catholicism. So the fact that, you know, that was in the plan to have the book and the knowledge, at least the basis knowledge, because when you look at all of the religions, they all have a base point, and that's all believing in one God, whether it's Allah, Buddha, God, Christ, Muhammad, you know, the list goes on and on and on. And even in my culture, the creator. So how I came to turn in terms with it is that it's all the same, and they're all speaking the same word. And that's just to have that belief and, you know, be of one mind, body, and soul. And to have that connected to your higher self, that's in alignment with God and Christ. And, you know, that's how I live, and that's how I see it. I don't judge anybody by which religion, because that religion is still the gateway to stepping more into spirituality. And that's the thing, like spirituality is always an ever-growing process, just like how we grow as humans and get older. Like I don't think there's one person who can say on earth, like, I have it all figured out spiritually.
Absolutely.
This is the way, because
everybody's
that person's way is not going to be my way. My way is not going to be your way. And everyone's going to have their own set destiny. And it's funny that you brought up like your purpose and stuff. And of course, like with your birth chart, that does give you some insights of how the planets affect you emotionally and stuff like that. But there's also another thing called human design, which goes more into your psyche and your personality and what can really lead you.
You showed me what my human design was.
Yeah.
And it was saying that I was a healer.
Yeah, and you were a manifesting generator, weren't you? You see, I knew you were a manifesting generator, and I'm a pure generator, and that's why me and you get along so good. and how we are able to put this podcast together, because with both of us, our energies is able to do this with just the two of us.
Right.
Like, we don't need a projector here.
Right.
We can do the shit on our own.
Right.
And because we make that just happen.
Right.
But for those of you guys who don't know, look it up. Genetic matrix. You can Google that. Go on there, put in your birthday and time, and it'll let you know what type of design you are. And just start looking into your gates, figuring out what your yeah, we'll go into that a little bit. That's another
I'll have thing. Becky put it on the website so you guys can look at it, and then we'll talk about it more next time. I said all of that so that you could open that up, because that's a big part of you.
Yeah,
that's a daily part of you. I am on the outskirts, kind of just looking in and just trying to see where I fit in, and so I do look at, the supernatural and different things that happen in energy and what goes on, because everything we can't see.
Yeah, and especially with the aliens coming out and the government actually admitting that we have aliens now too. Like,
it's just too much. And I want to have, as they say, like that third eye open. I want to be woke, and not in the Republican sense of wokeism. I want to actually be open to understanding whatever is happening, and a lot of people that study religion study theology, and they study it all. When you study theology, you're not just studying Christian, you're not just studying Hindu, you're studying them all so that you can understand where other people are going through.
It's funny that you brought this up, because I was actually talking about theology earlier with a person who actually has a master's in theology, because I was thinking about, because I still have like these leftover credits from college and stuff, and I'm like, well, should I really do something about this? Should I just take it into theology, because that's what I'm like really passionate about right now. But he had said something to me. He's like, Becky, you don't need to have a master's degree in theology. He's like, the fact that you could probably just be recognized spiritually because of your gift, that you would automatically be ordained because of how you're speaking. So I was like, oh, that makes sense, because I really don't want to
go back to school.
I don't want to go back to school, because he was saying the same thing. Like, he had the same problem. He didn't mind learning and stuff about it, but it wasn't the stuff that he wanted to learn. It's still under a certain structure, and someone is still saying, hey, I need you to do this. This is your project. This is what you're going to learn, and you're going to write it out on that. But then, you're kind of like wanting to be somewhere else and learn about other stuff. So I really like that
Takes
feedback.
You out of your purpose.
Yeah.
Puts you somewhere else when your mind is like set on this, and then they're like, no, learn this, and that. And you're like, okay, but that's taking me from where I really want to go, especially if you have a one-track mind. So I like that he did tell you like a streamlined way.
Yeah, so he
cut the corners. Yeah,
he's telling me kind of like, you don't really have to go that way, Becky. Like, you can do it on your own, because people will recognize that. I was like, that makes sense, and that kind of like makes me feel better, so I don't have to like waste like 4 to 8 more years.
Okay.
4 to 6 to 8 more years on wasting on that. But I don't think it would be a waste. But I think I am more geared to just speaking my truth and helping others. And that's what I think I came up with today while I was on my talk earlier.
That's why we have to do what we have to do, because...
Which I almost missed because of last night.
Oh. Well, yeah, we would say we're going to talk about that too. So I'm glad that you were able to get on your call and get your knowledge today with your mentors and your spirituality mentors, because you contacted me to say, hey, let's go and see Wheezy for free.
Right.
And so when my friend says, oh, let's go see Wheezy for free, I'm like, okay. And then she's like, yeah, we got tickets. And I'm like, okay. and we go. And we went with another friend of ours. Shout out to Linda.
Shout out to Linda.
We went with another friend of ours. We got there. We parked at Dre's. It was $30 for the event parking. Parked up there, no problem. Walked right in, no problem. We had our free tickets. But it was already packed. We got there right about midnight.
Yeah.
We got there probably about midnight. It was already packed everywhere. You couldn't even get to the stage. But I had my lifesaver there. So my friend Linda was already at the stage.
Front and center.
Front and center, y'all.
And I'm not even joking. Front and center. You guys can go check out our socials.
Check out the TikTok because we were all the way in the front. Like I could touch Lil Wayne's feet. But anyways, so she was in the front and she said, well, we're like, where are you? And she's like, oh, I'm over here. And we're like, put your light on. She put her light on. We put our light on. And she was like, okay, get to me. I have some people that are holding your spots, 3 people, and you guys have to hurry up and get to me so you can get these spots in the front. Mm-hmm. And so we're like, okay. And we went. We pushed our way through there all the way to the front. And then the people left and we got their spots and we held our spots. The people was tripping in the front. People was about to fight. We was about to fight. It was so much going on, y'all.
Lil Wayne almost got attacked. Like some lady jumped on the stage when this other fight was going on to my right.
Becky got it on her live. So we're going to cut it down and put it on TikTok because that was just crazy. But we seen Lil Wayne. He was as close as my arm reaching out, and he put on an amazing show.
Amazing.
He was glistening up there. He looked good.
He looked real
had
good.
All his jewelry on. He had his little Gucci on. He looked good. He didn't look like no. Sometimes he'd be looking like a little roach that was out in the sun for too long. Sometimes he looked jacked up. I'm sorry. I was like, what is wrong with him? Tonight, for his birthday, last night for his birthday, he was looking amazing.
He was looking real good. And shout out to that Bentley that he came in. He had a Bentley SUV parked outside right in front of the Dre's nightclub. I was like,
right. That the police was standing right by. Like the police hat was on the side mirror. Mm-hmm. I was like, why is the police on that? But yeah, so shout out to Dre's for the free tickets.
Yes, shout out to Dre's.
Shout out to the homegirl Linda that was in the front.
Yes.
Front row for.
Thank you, Linda. We're gonna have Linda up on here.
Oh yeah, because Linda,
she's got to be a guest.
She's at everything. She went to Beyonce. She was at the 50 years of hip hop. She be at the iHeartRadio. She be at
everywhere.
Yeah, she didn't know about Lil Wayne. We put her on Lil Wayne. She sent me a text message. She was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so happy that you let me go to Lil Wayne for free. Like anything you need, just let me know." I'm like, "Girl, the tickets was free.
They were free.com.
Like,
we just need."
We just need my friend to get there early so we get in the front like that next time. Okay, so if I can get the free tickets for you, friend, and you can get us in the front like that, friend, we're good.
Yes.
That was amazing. So that's a good thing. Like we are able to do those type of things in Las Vegas. Number one, because we're women. Mm-hmm. You can get anything free.
But we could have still got the guys in too. It would have been a discounted rate.
Yeah, they would.
But it wouldn't have been like I think it was $100.
Was it still $100?
I think it was $100.
Oh Lord.
So they might have gone in for like maybe 50 or 75. Yeah. But a discount is a discount.
That's
Y'all
true.
Should be happy.
That's true.
Just unfortunately,
it was Lil Wayne. It was Lil Wayne. So
yeah, it was Lil Wayne.
You could pay $100 to go see Lil Wayne, or $50 or something like that.
Yeah, and that was like nothing because his concert tickets. Because I was trying to see Lil Wayne in June when he was out in Phoenix, but I was unable to go see him. And his tickets there were probably like $196, but with taxes it was coming up like $215 or something like that. Yeah.
So that was a discount. So shout out to Vegas. Las Vegas, Nevada, that always has the hookups for all of it. You guys look at our website, look at our TikTok. We got a little compilation from our weekend.
Hey, shout out to my algorithm, because without my algorithm,
you wouldn't even know
I wouldn't have even known it, because it was like, hey, look, we bring this to you. Right. Get Lil Wayne tickets right now for free. I was like, oh, let me send this.
Right. She's like, Brandy. I said, oh. Oh yeah, yeah, let's go. So shout out to Becky. Shout out to all that. So thank you guys so very much for tuning in to our episode number 7. Go check out our websites, check out our TikTok. We have our Instagram, we have our Twitter, we have our B&B Culture Exposed website.com, and we have our Facebook. We appreciate you guys.
And also check out Spotify and Apple Podcasts.
Yes,
We're going to start downloading those on there.
Yep, this weekend we have new platforms. So give us a week or so.
So you guys won't be stuck on YouTube anymore.
Yeah, forget YouTube. Let's go to Spotify. Let's go to Apple Podcasts. So we'll be uploading those this week. So thank you guys for the suggestion for that. Because everybody's like, "Are you guys on Spotify?" We're like, "No, you should go in there."
Yeah, we are. We're about to be, guys. We've heard you guys.
Right, we've heard you. We will deliver.
We will deliver.
So thank you guys so very much. And have a blessed week. Be kind. Do something for someone. Push out energy. Push out good vibes.
Stay positive and don't let those negative thoughts take over your brains. Remember to flip that thought and turn it into a positive, because your thoughts make your world.
Oh, for real. And death and life is in the power of the tongue too. So your brain and your tongue, they work together. So be blessed. Push out good, vibrant, positive energy only. Okay. And we're going to get it back to us.
Yes, definitely.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.